This video is recorded for educational purposes only. The procedure has been performed by a qualified trained surgeon in a sterile and controlled environment. It is not meant for diagnosis, treatment, or self-care. Do not try this at home.
Assalamu alaikum. Today's video is about nephronsparingsurgery. By laparoscopic approach, this lady is 35 years old who is having right-sided renal mass around 2.3 centimeter on the anterior surface, almost the mid-pole. So on CT there was enhancing, heterogeneously enhancing mass, and then short of biopsy we went for a system EV scan which showed aggressive histology. So this is the partial nephrectomy. She has got a low Nephrometric score because the mass is small. It is more than 50% exophytic and is not involving paleocalyceal system and is located on the anterior surface, so it can be easily managed by minimally invasive technique. So I have mobilized the right-sided colon. So while dissecting the lower pole of the kidney, keeping in view the presence of the ureter could be seen. This is the ureter here, and there are lower polar vessels. There is one vein directly communicating with the inferior vena cava and an artery which is coming anterior to the inferior vena cava. So the mass is located more towards the upper pole. So this vessel may need not to be clamped during the excision of the mass. However, its dissection is important because if there is any significant bleed from that portion, the vessel must previously be mobilized and dissected all around so that the clamp can then be applied to this vessel as well. So going forward, we can see the pulsation of the main renal artery, but there is a small vein which is going directly into the gyrotous fascia from the inferior vena cava. Keep this vein in mind. This vein is going to give rise to a peculiar situation at the end of the procedure. In order to progress with the dissection of the artery, this vein, which is narrow as well, it needs to be clipped and then divided in order to provide access to the renal artery. So after mobilizing this vein, we are now on to the hilum, main hilum of the kidney, which may be supplying that area of the tumor. So there are basic steps. You create pneumoperitoneum and then you place the ports in such a way, keeping in view the triangulation, so that when you are done with the excision of the mass, you must be able to apply the sutures, the repairing sutures or the Renorrhaphy sutures easily. If the port placement is not good, then the suturing is difficult, and that may lead to prolonged ischemia time, prolonged bleeding, hemodynamic instability, and later on perinephric hematoma as well. So dissecting the renal artery, the main renal artery, we found that there may be an early branching of the main renal artery just behind the inferior vena cava. So there are two arterial divisions of this main artery. One is a small one, the other one is a bigger one. So most probably the area of the tumor is supplied by this anterior smaller division. However, as I mentioned previously as well, that all the vessels need to be dissected for an emergency situation. So the tissue between the renal vein and the renal artery is dissected. So after talking about the steps of the partial nephrectomy, after dissection of the renal artery, enough dissection of the renal artery needs to be performed in order to apply vascular clamps or the bulldogs, so that there is no tissue which is obstructing the tip of the bulldog. Here you can see the right angle is perfectly going posteriorly to the renal artery, and then dissection of the renal vein. So the renal vein is also dissected, and then the vascular loops, the blue one for the vein, these are also important because in time of emergency you can use them, and then the red one for the artery. So this is a homework for the main procedure, which is the excision of the tumor. So after completing the dissection of the vascular pedicle and taking control, so before applying the bulldog clamps, we do the demarcation of the tumor, and we dissect the gyrotous fascia and the perinephric fat. This fat and gyrotous fascia also plays an important role while maneuvering the tumor from here to there. So if you grab this tissue, you can manipulate the renal mass. So here you can see clearly that the renal mass is now visible. It is a small one. So we demarcate the area or draw a circle around the tumor so that we know which area to resect, in order to prevent over resection and more importantly under resection, to get the clear the tumor free margins. The resection is not performed with diathermy, monopolar or bipolar. Otherwise it would have been good, but it may compromise histopathology because of the necrosis. So then what we do is that we place all the sutures with the knot at the tail, and also a clip for retention, and then we apply the bulldog clamp on the artery, and we wait for a minute or two, and then we apply the bulldog clamp on the vein. And after the blood is diverted from the kidney, we start resection. I usually do not clamp the vein because retrograde bleeding is not as major, but here I applied it because you can see that there is some bleeding from the bed of the kidney, bed of the tumor, and the reason for that may be some supply from the lower polar vessel. Otherwise one may not expect to get this bleed at this level. However, it is not major, and patient is hemodynamically stable. We have a 1 pint of blood cross-matched ready with us. So if at any point I feel that the bleeding is more, then the vessels of the lower pole are already dissected from all around, so I can then easily clamp that artery as well. So this surgery is kind of off clamp or a half clamp, blood supply to the major area of the kidney is maintained. There is a small vessel here. You can clip it, you can bipolar it, you can monopolar it. However, since the tumor is not that deep, so there is no need to worry about the bleed. So we keep on cutting, keeping in view the depth of the tumor and taking enough normal parenchyma to get the free margins. Once we are done with the resection or excision of the tumor, we just put or place this tumor in a safe location where it cannot be dislocated. At this moment, there is no need to remove this mass because the priority is given to the nephrons that are preserved. So we must be planning for deep clamping of the artery as soon as possible. So the tumor is placed in a corner, and then we apply sutures to approximate the parenchyma. You can take interrupted sutures, you can take continuous symmetrical sutures, you can take continuous non-synchronous sutures like this. So apply the clip and then you can tighten it, and that can lead to compression. Now you can see that the bleeding has stopped. Since the tumor was superficial, we did not go too deep into the normal parenchyma, opening large vessels or the pelvic ileal system, so there was no need to perform inner Renorrhaphy and outer Renorrhaphy separately. So with a single layer of continuous vicryl 1 sutures, we were able to control the bleed. So you place everything inside before you apply the clamps for vascular control. You place bulldog clamps, you place sutures, you place everything. So after completion, we just loosen the clamp on the vein and see if there is some retrograde blood. The field is quite clear, so now we go to unclamp the artery. The ischemia time in this case was around 18 to 19 minutes, and then we place a small piece of Surgicel in that cleft which is left behind after the removal of the tumor. And then what we do is that it's not a necessary step, but we already had a suture inside, so we thought that the raw surface and the Surgicel, it is covered by the gerotas once again. So we take advantage of using that suture. The raw surface is covered. Next step is to do some cleaning around and remove all the bulldog clamps and the needles and the vascular loops. And then in the last, we will be removing the mass. And here what happened, this is what I was mentioning at the start of the procedure. So here what happened was that the gauze piece which was used for cleaning, it got stuck in the hemolog clip, and since this was dislodged, and then I tried to apply another hemolog clip, but I saw that the vein was avulsed from the surface of the IVC. So we increased the pressure from 12 to 15 so that it doesn't bleed, and we identified that area, applied some pressure, and then I repaired it with a Prolene 60 suture. It might not be bleeding at the moment because there's pressure, but after the pneumoperitoneum is decompressed, there may be significant bleed because it is connected directly to the main vessel. So never leave it without attention. So that has been done, and then we reduce the pressure to 6 to see if there is any bleed, and then we place the mass in a glove bag, and then we extract it and place a drain in the renal bed. Thank you very much for watching.